Today, I want to talk about one of the biggest mistakes that I see new business owners making in their business, okay, as it pertains to taxes, and that is mixing personal and business expenses. It's called commingling. And if you need a way to think about it, just think about it as using the same card for groceries, gas, and business supplies. And let's talk about why that can actually get you in trouble with the IRS. So the issue is that when you mix personal and business expenses, it becomes very difficult for you to keep track of what's actually deductible. Okay, you're going to have to go back through your bank statements and read through and try to figure out what was this purchase for. And if you're using it at a place like Amazon, say for example, you don't know if that was a leash for your puppy or if that was actually the new computer for your business. So it becomes very hard to make sure you're tracking all of your deductions. And you can miss out on legitimate business write-offs because you can't prove the expense was business related. Now, the bigger picture and the bigger issue with that is if your business is ever audited by the IRS and they ask you for proof of these expenses, if you have unclear records, it's going to raise red flags. And then they can deny you deductions and even assume that you're not running a real business. This can happen for both federal and state. I'm actually working with somebody right now for the state of Maryland where the IRS accepted the business expenses and the business deductions, but the state of Maryland said, prove it. And so now we're in a situation where we have to go through all of our bank statements and records to try to make it very clear which expenses were actually legitimate business write offs. Another great point for keeping good records is that if you have an LLC, I know a lot of people want to get an LLC because it protects your assets, right? When you start mixing funds between your personal and your business, it's going to blur the lines between you and your business. This is a term that the IRS calls uh, piercing the corporate veil. Okay, so you no longer have a clear distinction between your business and your personal assets and expenses. Basically, if somebody sues you or sues your business, your personal assets can be at risk because you haven't kept things separate. No other reason, just make sure that you keep things separate so that you cannot be sued based off of your business. The way to fix this is really simple. All you need to do is open up a dedicated bank account and use it only for the income and expenses of your business. Let's say that you're a sole proprietor, right? And you are not registered with the state and it's difficult for you to get a business bank account. Don't use that as an excuse. Just open another account, even if it is a personal account, and just designate it as business. Anytime you put any income into that account, it needs to be business income. Anytime you take any expenses from the account, it needs to be business related expenses. Okay. That way, if there is ever an audit, any type of litigation, and you need to provide your financial documents, is very clear that this is only income and expenses for your business. So that's going to help with all the things that we just discussed. If you're in an audit for tax purposes, if your business is being sued by someone, you can clearly show what your income and expenses are. Bottom line is that mixing business and personal expenses can feel convenient, right, in the moment, but it creates messy records. It's going to put you at tax risk and even legal exposure. So be very sure to keep things separate. It's going to save you money, time, and stress and protect your business in the long run. Again, this is LaShawn Adesimilolu, enrolled agent and tax strategist. And another tax tip, if you have additional tax questions, be sure to drop them in the comments of this video. And if you need tax help or assistance going through an audit, back taxes, anything tax related, go ahead and schedule a consultation by using the link in the bio. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.